Hi, friends. How are you? We are having a conversation about life, business, and everything on the in between. This week has been a really great week to connect with a lot of business owners, and I have to tell you that there's been a reoccurring pattern, and it's going to be focusing on the three big concerns of business owners using social media. So when we talk about social media, we know that it's a powerful way to get our message out into the world, or people talking about your business, or even people to discover your business. But the thing that we also know is that sometimes social media marketing can feel like a jigsaw puzzle that's missing a few pieces. Or maybe it feels like you're pushing up a boulder on an icy mountaintop barefoot in the snow, and like you can only use one arm. That's what I hear a lot of times when it comes to the concerns of using social media. Now, one of the biggest concerns, top three, number one, Jasmine, it's all been done before. I can't go live on Facebook because somebody's already talked about this. I can't post this or share this on Instagram because it's already been said before. Or writing this newsletter, blog post, podcast, hosting a clubhouse room, it's all been done before. And like, you could choose to tell yourself a story, but I'm also going to let you know that this is otherwise called as imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome are negative thoughts that you think to yourself that somebody has more, has done more, has more education, is better looking, is richer, is smarter, or 1,000 other things, that somebody more qualified should be talking about the thing you really want to talk about, but you're going to keep yourself held back for fear of what other people think, what other people would say, or other people having an opinion asking, hey, why are you the one talking about this? But I have to let you know that your content is your credibility. Like, people will never be able to know who you are or trust what you have to say if you're not putting out content. So it feels like people are caught between the two. Like, I want people to know about my business. I want people to look at my marketing and be like, wow, that's the thing I didn't even know that I wanted. Or I think this can change my life. I think this can positively impact me. Like, you want that, right? But then we hold ourselves back from sharing content because other people do it better or have more or know more. And I am here to tell you that you can't get one without the other. You can't get people talking about your business or wanting to send you messages if you don't take the time to put something out there, to put something out that pushes somebody toward your business. The second biggest concern that we hear from business owners on social media is, will I be seen? Sometimes it feels like creating content is this epic waste of time. Like, you wonder, why am I doing it? Why, when nobody is responding, or why am I not seeing the engagement that I want? Why should I put out this content? Will it ever be seen? Now, I have to tell you that the answer to this biggest struggle is that the algorithm favors connection. So if you aren't getting the likes or the comments or the engagement that you want, I wonder, what would it look like for you to give what you want? So let's just say you want somebody, anybody, to leave a thoughtful comment on one of your posts. If you would like that, then my advice to you is not pay for ads, is not do jumping jacks and a backflip and then your content will be seen. No, it's not to go viral. No. My advice to you is to create authentic engagement. Go and give what you want. So if you want a thoughtful comment, go and leave 10 thoughtful comments. Why? Because 9 people read the comment, be like, cool, I'm out of here. And then one person who receives your thoughtful comment is going to go back to your account and leave a thoughtful comment. And this is what triggers things within the algorithm, authentic connection. The third biggest struggle that it comes as the business owners are using social media to market their business is that they wonder if it's too late. I missed the boat on Facebook. You know, there was a time that YouTube was creating YouTube stars. That time is gone. I can't hop on Instagram because it's just too late. There's too many people. I can't grow as fast. Or here's another one. This one's a new one. I didn't get an invite to Clubhouse early on. I can't use Clubhouse. It's too late. And the answer is, that is completely false. And even though I believe it is completely false, maybe you'll believe that the answer to this biggest struggle from business owners using social media is you cannot afford not to. When I say you can't afford not to be building out on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or TikTok or whatever social platform your dream customer's on, when I say that you cannot afford not to do that, I say you can't afford it because it's free. It's free. So even though you're saying, I'm not getting as much as attention I would like, I'm going to come back to you and say, yeah, but you're still getting attention. Any attention is better than no attention, and you will get no attention if you do not put out content. So when it comes to bringing out or creating content that's going to build credibility, you want people talking back to you, you want people to be like, that's the business I want to work with. There's going to be 3 types of content that create credibility. The first one is the know factor. People are going to want to look at you as a credible source in your industry when you know about what you are selling. Are you a jewelry maker? Are you a clothing maker? Are you a photographer, a graphic artist? Do you make bars of soap? Do you know how to talk about your products or services? Do you know how to educate people on how your products and services work? Are you creating content that somebody looks at and says, wow, this person really knows his or her stuff? That type of content creates credibility. The second type of content that creates credibility is like content. Now, I know that this idea rubs people the wrong way, but it's just human nature. We want to work with, we want to support, we want to buy from people who we like. Now, obviously, there's sometimes where we make a transaction that we're not buying out of emotion. Like if I buy, if I get medicine from my pharmacist, I don't need to like my pharmacist to get my medicine. But if it's a luxury item, like just 2 days ago on Instagram, I saw an ad for something and I went over to the account and I started understanding that I really liked the artist who was making handmade earrings. I liked her. I thought she was funny. I liked what she was putting out and I wanted to support her. But creating content that positions you as a likable person. Now, will you be liked by everybody? No. But the more that you create content, you're going to start attracting people who like your sense of humor, who like the way you teach, who like your product or service. So then the third type of content that will create credibility is trust. This is so simple, and yet it's so hard. You want your followers to trust that you will walk in integrity. So if you say, hey, I'm gonna go live on Instagram on Tuesday at 12, you better go live on Tuesday at 12. If you say, hey, I have a limited time offer and you can't get this at any other time, well, you better not offer it at any other time because people need to know that they can trust you. So the content that you're putting out, the 3 types of content, so for anybody who just wants a little bit of a recap, the 3 types of content that build credibility is going to be the content that makes somebody know you and know that you know about your content. Content that makes somebody like you and the way that you share or inform or give value. And content that makes somebody trust you. Now, I understand that whenever I talk about this topic, people will be like, okay, Jasmine, well, it sounds like it's easy for you. I get that. I also think that's a really easy excuse. So I decided to come on, I decided to talk about this topic, and then I decided to have a Q&A because what I want to do is to make sure that people will refrain from giving me excuses. So if you happen to still feel stuck when it comes to creating content, I also have to remind you that it is not without knowing there are resources like Social Curator to make it easy. Because the thing I want to remind you is that you cannot compare your beginning to somebody else's end. So if you would like resources to start marketing your business, all I'm going to say is simply start marketing your business. And you could use free, amazing, awesome content and resources that come into your account every single month. This is how you're going to get those messages out. Okay, let's dive into some Q&A. I know that some live questions are coming in, but Julia asked, how often do you go live? So this question comes on the back of understanding that marketing your business is not about selling your business. So Social Curator is in closed enrollment. We only open like twice a year, at least at this point in the business. So all the other time that I go live, I'm just doing it to give value. So if you are interested in going live for your business and you're like, how often should I go? I'm going to tell you, I think you should go live as often as you can, however you can. Now, some people can go live every day. Some people can go live once a week or once a month. Whatever that number is, please do it, because it is an unparalleled experience for somebody to be able to look at you, understand your content, and understand the value of your business. Okay, so let's dive into a couple of the live questions that are coming in. Kate had said, is there a better time of day to post, or is it important to just be consistent? So my answer will always defer to being consistent. So Kate, thank you for that. However, if you have the ability, like if it's very distinct for you that your dream customer or your dream audience is online at a very specific time, well then great. Try to align your post. But the thing about algorithms, the algorithm on YouTube, or the algorithm on Facebook or LinkedIn or on Twitter or on Instagram, is that the algorithm is less concerned around the time of the post and more concerned with the quality of the post. How many people are liking, commenting, and engaging? It could be very often, I have experienced this, where I'll open up a social app like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and then I go and then I see that the first post I see was actually a post from 1 or 2 days ago. It's still showing it to me. Why? Not because they posted it at the exact right time, because there's a lot of engagement, and based on my previous behavior indicating that I like that type of content, oh, now I'm seeing it in my feed. So time of day matters a little bit less than making sure that the content itself is good. So Courtney, I have a niche apparel shop and I do some education. How do I keep my message clear? 80% of your content should be talking about your niche apparel shop in relation to the value and benefits for your followers. If you want your message to be clear, and I'm assuming, no, please forgive me if I'm assuming wrong, but my assumption is that you want people to buy your apparel. Well, in order for people to buy your apparel, they have to, number one, I know it seems basic, but they have to know immediately getting to your account that you sell apparel for a niche market. And then number two, what you're wanting to do is to create content that's going to build people out so that they look at it and immediately know that it is for them. So how do you keep your message clear? Reminding people what you sell, who it's for, and what makes it special. Okay, let's get into another question. Jackie asked, when you are in a launch, do you use the same strategy when you're sharing content to your email list and other platforms? So when it comes to being in a launch, like right now, I'm in a promotional period. 98% of the year, I do not sell anything. 98% of the time. At this point in time, the doors to Social Curator, they close on Friday. So from now until Friday, my objective is just to show up and remind people of the value of Social Curator, to join the community for the marketing resources, for the group coaching, for the accountability, for the guest masterclasses. But Jackie's asking, well, how does your marketing strategy differ? Well, for instance, yesterday I did an Instagram Live where I taught people in real time on Instagram Live how I make an Instagram reel. Somebody had said, Jasmine, are you going to be broadcasting how to make a reel on Facebook at the same time? You know, you're broadcasting on Instagram or you're broadcasting on Facebook. And I said, no. I'm not going to be creating content, because I've noticed that a lot of people on Facebook, they're not that interested with Reels, because Reels exist only on Facebook. So why would I be creating a piece of content on this social platform that really has nothing to do with the platform? So today, what am I doing? I'm going live directly onto Facebook because I want to speak to people here on Facebook where they enjoy spending time on Facebook. So while the content is similar, like, yeah, I'm teaching people how to use the platforms of their choice, it's a little bit different in that I want to make sure that I'm making sense and it's contextualized to the platform that I'm on. Does that make sense? Like, I would love to hear from you. Like, y'all are asking these powerful questions, but I want to make sure that my answers are making sense. Okay. Kim asked, my niche is pro wrestling. Kim. Nice to meet you. I'm always talking about my company, our content, and our merch. How do I keep from being salesy? Kim, you will sell more pro wrestling t-shirts when you interview somebody who's wearing a pro wrestling t-shirt. Why? Because somebody is going to resonate with the content and they're going to have an experience and say, wow, I loved this so much. I want that t-shirt. Instead of an Instagram post that says, buy this t-shirt. There's no emotional connection to the t-shirt. Oftentimes, the clothes we buy, the labels we wear, they're to show to other people a value system within ourselves. However, it's not enough to wear pro wrestling t-shirt without a representative or what it means to us. For example, have you ever gone to a concert? Have you ever gone to a Broadway show where you end up buying a t-shirt from that Broadway show or from that concert? Why? You could see that t-shirt out on the street and it wouldn't mean anything to you, but because you were at the concert and you were there and you're like, oh my God, I raised my hands and I lit a lighter and I was singing. Or if you went to a Broadway show like I did, I went to Hamilton in New York years ago and I was like, I just experienced something metaphysical. I think the heavens opened up and Manuel Lin Miranda came down and sang to me. And I could not leave that New York theater without getting a Hamilton t-shirt. The t-shirt meant something to me because I had an experience with it. Similarly, Kim, if people are looking at product without a relationship, it's going to be harder to sell, so you find yourself becoming really salesy. So my advice to you is to create content around interviewing wrestlers or having throwbacks or telling stories of really great people who, like, let's just say that this pro wrestling organization sponsored a kid for like the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and the kid wanted a Make-A-Wish Foundation and they really wanted to speak to this pro wrestler, and what you did, your company, is you donated t-shirts and beanies and apparel. When you share that, somebody looks at that and they have emotional connection to an inanimate product. So I would advise to storytell, to do interviews, to do fun reels, to go on TikTok, do something funny while wearing the merch. That is what will get exposure. Okay, let's dive into another question from Dana. What are your thoughts on brand ambassadors? We're a small business, almost 3,000 followers on Instagram. Our ideal clients are on Instagram a lot. So our focus is on Instagram because 70% of our sales come from Instagram. Really want to expand our reach faster. We have some very loyal customers who tag us on posts using the product. We've tossed around the idea of brand ambassadors, but don't want to necessarily do discounts. Any thoughts on other ways to provide value? So, Dana, because you asked this question, I wish I can ask a clarifying question. But when you say we don't want to do discounts, I think you might be saying you don't want to work with brand ambassadors because some relationships with brand ambassadors will say, we'll give you 50% off our products so that you can then post about them. And I can understand if that doesn't resonate with your business. You would want somebody who paid full price to then endorse your business because it feels natural and authentic. However, people who are tagging your account, they might do it once and maybe they'll do it twice. But there's a very little chance that without getting anything in return that they're going to keep on tagging and talking about you. So what would it look like for you to give promo codes to some of your favorite brand ambassadors? So let's just say I was your brand ambassador and you say, Jasmine, thank you so much for tagging our account. When anybody uses the code Jasmine, they're going to get a 10% discount off their first order. Because at the end of the day, Dana, in order for somebody to use a promo code, in order for somebody to click on an affiliate link, they have to be incentivized. And I know that you don't want to do a discount, but discounts are the quickest way to actually get somebody to change their behavior. Now, when you look at discounts, I don't look at it as a loss of money. I just look at it as a reallocation of my marketing funds. Because what are your cost of lead acquisition? How much money is it taking for you to get in front of somebody on social media to buy your product? Let's just say, for math's sake, because I'm not great at math, that your product is $20. And if you're like, wow, this Instagram post did really well, we want to promote this post, we want to run an ad. Well, in order for people to see your ad, that you have to pay for it. You have to pay for views. And then once you pay for views, then you can actually see who actually clicked away from the ad to go over to this shop. And then what you'll do is you'll pixel your checkout page to say who saw the ad, clicked on the shop, put it in their cart, and went to pay for it. You can get those analytics from your ads. And maybe if your product is, say, like $20, well, the ads from the cost of customer, from the cost of the view, like the cost per lead to look at the ad to the cost of customer acquisition, well, let's just say it's $6. Well, after you paid the $6, you have $14 profit or $14 to put back into the business. Okay. Well, if you're giving one of your brand ambassadors a discount code and they say it's, say, 10%, well, 10% of $20 is $4. So the discount costs less than the cost of running ads. So while sure, you're giving a discount, you're actually saving money. It's a reallocation of marketing funds. So Dana, I'm gonna invite you to look at the same situation a little bit different because it might not be a loss of money. It might just be a reallocation. Amber Bucci, are you pulling these questions live or are they pre-picked? Genuinely curious if you like one way better than the other. Okay, I love this, Amberly. You just asked this question live, Amberly, so I picked this question live. Now, what I do is, just in case people don't ask me questions live, because it's happened before, what I'll do is I'll pick a few other questions that people have asked from previous lives that I didn't get to. So I'll have those as a cachet to kind of be like, well, if people aren't asking questions, let me just pull up those questions. So those questions that that I just went through. Now remember, I started my Q&A, and at the time that I started my Q&A, not a single person had asked a question. So I was like, let's go into, remember, I answered this question from Julia, then I answered this question from Jackie, and I just finished answering this question from Dana. But those were all pre-asked questions from the last live that I did. But Amberly, you just asked that question live. I will answer the questions as I get them to keep me on track. All right, so friends, I come on every single week. We have conversations about life, business, and everything on the in-between. Like I mentioned before, we are in a promotional period for Social Curator right here. The doors close on Friday at 5 p.m. Nothing would mean more for me if you're ready to up-level your marketing, your business, to learn how to get your message and products and services out into the world in 2021. I would love to see you on the inside using these resources, getting the help and the support and the accountability that you need. Socialcurator.com/join. I can't wait to see you on the inside. I hope you have a great day.